Before I start introducing myself to you and even this program to you, I would like to send tons of thanks and appreciation to all audience who click or will click into this program without even knowing what is behind the scenes of it. Good morning, folks. And it is an honor, actually, to have an opportunity to address such distinguished and intelligent people and audience like you. Thanks you again for clicking and knocking my door. You are going to be okay, and you are going to get benefit of this program. But let me first introduce myself to you. My name is Salah El-Bashir. Salah al-Bashir is an Arabic name. And Salah means perfection or make something perfect. El-Bashir means the person who brings good news to his people or to other people. I'm originally from the Sudan. So now I am by choice a Sudanese American. I'll start to introduce some of my background to you. I own a PhD degree in food science and technology from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Also, I have a master in tropical animal health from the University of Khartoum, Sudan. And finally, I own a bachelor degree in veterinary science from Cairo University, Egypt. In this talk or program or show, I would like to concentrate on exchange of information about Sudan, Africa, and Middle East. And this information may include, but not limited to, politics, economy, all aspects of culture, and how relationship should be between the United States, Europe, and Western countries with those underdeveloped countries or developed countries in Africa, Sudan, and Middle East. Also, I will be glad if we have a lot of talk about, is it a clash of civilization between Western civilization and African and Middle East civilizations, or it could be or an exchange and or reaction between those civilizations. This is going to be one of my target topics, and we will negotiate this and talk with this several times and see how differences are we from each other, and how we can get close to each other and reduce the gap between us so that we can live in this beautiful world as a human being and in a good shape with all of us. The word Nadus, which is the name of this program, actually is coming from the word Sudan. It is derived from Sudan. Actually, it is a mirror image of Sudan. When you put the Sudan in front of the mirror, it's going to give you an image of Nadus. I did not invent the word Nadus. It had been invented by a Sudanese poet called Humaid in one of his own famous poems, taking the same name, addressed the same name, Nadus. And actually, he named Nadus because he wouldn't like the government. He was anti-government, and he didn't want them to stop the distribution of this poem among people. So he named it Nadus, and it takes a lot of time to the government to know that Nadus means Sudan. And this poem talk a lot about Sudan and the situation on Sudan at that time during the El-Bashir regime. We are going to talk a lot about many things like this, and also in this episode we are going to talk about some facts about Sudan. So we will start from here. Just I would like to have a break and then come back again and go one by one and see what is going on. Let us have a break. In this introductory episode, I would like to display some facts and information about the Sudan. As you know, Sudan is my country of origin, and I would like to start from there and then diffuse elsewhere. Sudan is officially known as the Republic of the Sudan. It lies in the northeast, south to the Tropic of Cancer and overlooking the Red Sea. It is bordered by 7 great African countries of civilization. Egypt to the north, Eritrea and Ethiopia to the east, South Sudan to the south, the Central African Republic to the southwest, Chad to the west, and Libya to the northwest. Sudan was the largest country in Africa and Arab world until the formal split of South Sudan in 2011. Nowadays, it ranks the third largest country in African continent and also in the Arab world. The name of Sudan itself comes from an Arab word or Arab clause called the land of El Sudan or the Bilad al Sudan. Bilad al Sudan means the land of blacks because El Sudan is an adjective that means this person or this thing has a black color. And I don't know why Sudan is named after the color of the skin of his people. And the only explanation that when Arabs comes and invaded Africa, they just stay on the North Africa from Egypt towards till the Morocco, but they do not go inside to sub-Saharas. And when they did, they saw just black people, and for this reason they name all this area of the sub-Saharas as El Sudan or Bilad as-Sudan or the land of blacks. They did not mention the Sudan with the specific areas now, because those specific areas or the specific country that named Sudan is named after Biko's South Biko's agreement, where the country's boundaries are made by the colonization. It's not from the Arab era when they invaded Africa. However, it is now this piece of land is known now as Sudan. No other country known as Sudan at all. Just this country. And because those are two countries now has the name in Sudan in their official name. South Sudan is also the same because they were one country and then they split in 2011 into two countries, one in the south, one in the north. The capital of the Sudan is Khartoum. Also, there is a lot of thing from where did the word Khartoum comes. People may say that Khartoum is an Arabic name to the elephant trunk. I don't buy this explanation. I think that there is some people who known as a tribe Khartoum or Khartoum. So it is two names together, and then they go together to have the same name of Khartoum. I don't buy that it came from the Arabic Khartoum, that means an elephant trunk, but still this is one of the explanations that why Khartoum is named Khartoum. Khartoum occupied an area of 22,142 square kilometers and resident by 10 to 12 million people. Actually, at least 1/4 of the Sudanese people resident in Khartoum. In Khartoum also there is actually in Sudan, the whole Sudan has 114 native languages, and most of the Sudanese are bilingual, least, or sometimes multilingual. They have more than two languages they can speak. Local language or other language. The main and official language till now is the Arabic language. Is the main one now, but still there is 500 accents and dialects. The total number of population now range between 40 and 44 million, and 97% of them were 97% of the population is Muslim, and they practice Sunni tradition. There is no Shia tradition in Sudan. I mean a significant number of Shia tradition in Sudan. Sudan independence is in January 1st, and in January 1st, Sudan always celebrate two things: the New Year and the independence from the dual colonization of Egypt and United Kingdom. Mainly, it is a British colonization rather than Egyptian or Anglo-Egyptian colonization. Independence had been taken in 1956. Let us have a little break and come back again. Sudan experiences a blend of climate. It varies from area to area. It varies when you travel from south to the north or vice versa. And it starts with desert in north and on the coast. And this is actually logic, because actually Sudan is south to the Tropic of Cancer, and that means it is a part of the sub-Saharan desert, or the Great Desert of Africa. So in the north, it is a desert, and also on the coast, it is a desert. And when you come into the middle of Sudan, it is a semi-desert and semi-arid areas, and it is semi-savanna and savanna in the south. And all these are affected by the summer monsoon. Northern Sudan is very, very dry area, and prone to intense dust storm called haboobs that can easily black out the sun and cut visibility down to zero. Here is, in this picture, it tells you how haboob looks like, as an intense storm of dust. Intense storm of dust. And if I just recall 2 years ago, there were a lot of breaking news talking about intense dust storms in different areas in the United States. They don't find out what is the name of this type of dust. They try to figure out how they name it scientifically. And then finally, by searching, they found the word haboob in Sudan, and they bring it into the table so that it has this name, and the name become familiar to all people, that it means intense dust storm. Also, Sudan has a wide range of rains, but it depends on the area. If we go to the northwest or north parts of Sudan, there is no rains. Actually, very, very, very rare rains. A few in on the coast, and the good thing that there are wide range of rain in the east part, because they are affected by the Ethiopian plateau, and also there is a wide range in the of rains in the south. This gives the Sudan an opportunity to have a different kind of agricultural crops, food crops, cash crops, forest crops, and all these things. And this also play a role in Sudan economy.
Also, did you guys know that a haboob is another name for a dust storm? And I know this because we've had to use that word before. And because we call them that, dust storms become 20 times more awesome. In fact, we're probably excited to see haboobs just so we can make jokes about them. As soon as we see a cloud of dust on the horizon, we all go, "Ah, guys, it's a haboob! You guys remember? This is what we call it." And then we go inside and make jokes like, "Oh man, this is one massive haboob."
Since the British colonization, agriculture and agricultural products are the main pillars of the Sudan economy. Cotton, groundnuts, peanuts, sorghum, millet, wheat, gum arabic, sugarcane, cassava, mangoes, papayas, bananas, sweet potatoes, sesame, sheep, livestock, and some medicinal herbs are actually the cash crop of the Sudan. Sudan exports such cash crops to the outsides and brings hard currency into the budget. Sudan actually is the world's largest producer of gum arabic. Sudan produces 80% of the annual production of gum arabic in the world. Gum arabic is the binding substance that found in gums. It is used to make shampoos, soft drinks, marshmallows, and also medicines and many other common products. Sudan nowadays is rated the third in exportation of gold. Actually, in the last year, the gold exportation is estimated as 235 tons of gold. Unfortunately, those are being out of Sudan by smugglers, and unfortunately, actually, the militia, the Janjaweed militia, and the militant are the smugglers of the gold. Oil is also part of the Sudan economy. It is now less than when Sudan was united with the South Sudan, because mainly the oil was in the South Sudan area. In the Sudan also there is the Nile River. And Nile River is formed of two main tributaries, the White Nile and the Blue Nile. And both of them merge together in Khartoum, the capital of Sudan, in order to make and produce the Nile River, which headed towards Egypt and then into the Mediterranean Sea. Also in Sudan is regarded as one of the, although all these things are found in Sudan, still Sudan is recognized as a poorest, one of the poorest and ill-developed countries in the world, with more than 50% of its population under the poverty line. Why? Because of the Islamic regime that has been impeached out in 2018. Unfortunately, there is an extension of another military coup, and now people are struggling to get rid of the militants and militias and initiate a new civilian government. And also adopted democracy and parliament regime, parliament democracy as the contest of the governing Sudan. In the tourism section, Sudan has a lot of tourism places. Sudan has many pyramids. We are going to talk about this very soon. And also it has and amazing national parks, the Dinder Park, which is a big animal zoo there, and it's called the Dinder National Park in the eastern Sudan, actually in the southeast of Sudan, and it was set since 1937 in a biosphere reserve. It hosts around 27,000 species of the large mammals among the African safaris, like the leopards, Maasai lions, and cheetahs, as well as 160 species of birds and 32 species of fish. Also, there is a Sinjar National Park, and it is a UNESCO heritage site since 2016, and also is the first marine national park in the Sudan, with the amazing fish coral varieties. Let us take a little break.
In the Sudan, where 4 to 7 million people are at risk for malnutrition and/or starvation.
I'll display over time an abundance information about the Sudanese culture and how it is impregnated since the ancient era till now. But the key element to understand the Sudanese culture is the diversity. Each major ethnic group and historical region has its own special forms of cultural expression. Sudanese population also, as I told you, is culturally is diverse. It comes from different ethnic groups containing highly differentiated lifestyles, livelihoods, and ancestral backgrounds. For example, the term Arab in Sudan has come to describe a cultural affiliation based on being an Arabic-speaking Muslim. Sudanese and Sudan's traditional societies have diverse linguistics, ethnic group, social and cultural and religious characteristics. So we will actually emerge deep into the Sudanese culture one by one, and we will discuss each time how the culture was and how it add to the overall human culture since the ancient time till now. Whenever you hear about the word pyramids, somebody just say pyramids in front of you, Egypt is gonna stuck into your mind. Just you are gonna remember Egypt, and if you visit Egypt, you are gonna recall all the time you have spent in there looking for the pyramids and other pharaohs' fossils. Why? Because Egypt gets noticed for its pyramids. However, Sudan is known as the place with the world's largest collection of pyramids. There are over 200 recorded pyramids in the country. The Nubian Pyramids also known as the Pyramids of Marawi, are the most iconic attractions of those types of pyramids. Marawi was one of the central cities of the Kingdom of Kush, which was ruled by the Nubian kings, and from the 8th century BC to the 4th century AD. Really, those Nubian pyramids are smaller in size than those of the Egyptian counterparts. However, they are also lesser known as well, and therefore the crowd you can see in the Egyptian one is more or less when you come and visit those Nubian pyramids of Sudan. Musawarat is one of the largest ancient temple complexes in the Sudan. The ruins of the Musawarat makes you travel back in the time, and these amazing and enigmatic ruins in the Middle Desert can be dated back to the 3rd century BC. Kush, and there is now a debate between scientists which one came first or which one built first. The Nubian civilization, Kush civilization, or the Egyptian civilization. And most of the scholars of the Egyptianology, they still think about that there is some mistake. The Nubian civilization came first. They built themselves first, and they just go down the stream towards the north, and they themselves who build the Egyptian one. This needs a lot of research, and it's not the time for that, but we will discuss this later in one of our episodes.
Along the Nile River, in what is now northern Sudan, lay the ancient civilization of Kush. Though they were once conquered by a powerful neighbor, the kings and queens of Kush would go on to successfully challenge two of the most dominant empires in history. From 1500 to 1100 BCE, Egypt controlled Kush, introducing many Egyptian cultural and religious practices. The civilization of Kush was more than 1,000 years old at that time. Its early capital city at Kerma had impressive temples, palaces, and houses, including a massive mud brick temple structure that had a chapel deep inside, reached by a long staircase at the center. Rich gold mines helped the Kushites build a flourishing commercial network, making bronze weapons and tools, and trading materials like incense, animal skins, ivory, and ebony wood from sub-Saharan Africa. The tide started to change for Kush as Egypt descended into civil war. By 750 BCE, Egypt was divided into local kingdoms with fluctuating alliances. The Kushite king Pianki saw an opportunity. He led his navy, flanked by horsemen and archers, up the Nile to the gateway city of Hemenu. As Pianki's army constructed siege ramps and battle towers, the city's ruler sent his wives and daughters to negotiate, not with Pianki, but with the women of his royal household, later known as Kandake, who were extremely influential in military affairs and political succession. At the end of a long siege, Pianki entered the conquered city and bitterly criticized the conditions in its stables. From there, Pianki and the Kushite forces conquered the Egyptian capital of Memphis. Pianki installed his sister, Amunirdis, as priestess of the great god Amun in the Egyptian city of Thebes, and left other Kushite officials there before returning to live in Kush. His successors extended control all the way to the Nile Delta.
Now we reach the end line of our show today, and I hope you enjoy the information that have been displayed in this episode. I will continue to talk about the countries, the overseas countries in Sudan and other African and Middle East countries. At the same time, I'm going to actually concentrate on Sudan and Sudan issues, because there is a lot of issues in Sudan, and I know better of Sudan compared to other places. Also, I would like to thank you all and thank everyone who clicks into this program and spend some time to hear what is inside. And I hope you join me every 2 weeks. This program will be broadcasted every 2 weeks on Wednesday. So it's bi-weekly, and will be every 2 Wednesdays. This one is going to be today, which is the February the 2nd, and the other one will be February the 16th, and so on. But the most important thing is going to be fixed on Wednesday, not any other day. Thank you for watching, and also I would like to have anything that hits in your mind, just write them down in the comments so I can follow what my audience wants. I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate you tolerate me for the first time, and I hope that you enjoy what I have submitted to you. Thank you, and